Hey everyone, welcome to the last part regarding the core data. So what I'm going to do in this video, basically continue on what we did last time, which is when we click on this item, it will show me the details of that item. Now in the startup project, you have a detailed view controller. And that detailed view controller has the item name that we are going to pass from that previous controller to this one. Again, I'm doing it differently than I would usually do it, but just to be consistent with the Android track. So here we have all the outlets set up already in that detailed view controller, and we have the button to cancel, to dismiss the current view controller. All right. So what do we need to do? If you go to the main storyboard, as from this screen, from this cell, you can simply right-click and drag to this view controller, and that's already done for you. And then here you have something called selection segue. So it means whenever you select this cell, it will fire this segue. And I already done that. And this is the segue that is already set up for you. And the name of it is details. So we're going to use that identifier to know where we're going and then set the attribute in the destination view controller. And if you haven't done that before, go back and watch the navigation video, navigation controller video, and I explain that in there. So let's go to the table view controller. And then we have a method called Uncommented, prepare for segue. So what you need here, you need to check if segue.identifier equal to details, then we know we're going to the detail view controller. And then here you can add, you can get the destination view controller, set the properties, and then pass to it the cell or the item that we are selecting. So first we need to get what did we select. Okay, so which cell we are clicking on or we selecting. So I'm going to say let index equal table view. You have an access to the table view, and then you have index of path for the selected row. All right. So that will give you the index of the index path for the selected row. Now, after that, you can get the row, and you just simply say let row equal index.row. Just explain to you the steps. And then finally, you say let item equal items, the array using the row that we got from the selected cell. Now I got the item. Now I need to pass the item name to the destination view controller. We need to unwrap that. You need to unwrap first unwrap the index here. That will solve it. And now we need to say let destination, or I just simply call it view controller, equal to segue dot destination as, and then I'm going to enforce unwrapping because I know where I'm going to. It's going to be details view controller. Then the last piece is that you set the attribute in the destination view controller. We have something called item name equal to item, the current object that we're dealing with, and then we assign it the item name. So that's what you have to do in the table view controller. So when you select an item, it's going to fire this segue the details. We get the row of the selected item. We get the destination of the view controller. Then we assign the property in the destination view controller to the value from the item object. Now we go to the destination view controller. In here, you need in the view did load, it's going to be either empty or not. So what you do is say, if it is not empty, if item name is empty, if it is not empty, so we put the exclamation mark in front of it, what do we want to do? We want to get the details. So we have the helper class already defined here. If it's not defined, define it. So you have the helper class for the database. Here I will say helper, it's early in the morning, find item, and then we give it the name, which is item name. And then here I'm going to say, we are going to assign it item. You could have passed the whole object, but again, this is another story. So I'm going to keep it that way. Say let item, and this is going to be optional, right? Obviously, it's going to find it. You could check for it. And so you say if let item equal item. That means we found it. What we want to do, we're going to say this is optional binding. So what we want to do, we're going to say txt. Oh, we're going to call them label description equal dot text equal item dot description label type dot text equal item dot type label name dot text equal item dot text dot item name. I am going to add one more field to the view controller quickly, which is the date. So let me go do that quickly. You could do that in your project as well. So I'm going to go to the main storyboard. And then here, let's just add date. Let's just copy those two guys. Command copy, Command V. Let's put them here. And this is going to say add date. And then this is, it's going to be a problem. So we need to unbind it first. Is it down? It's not down, so that's good. There's a label here. Is it down? No, it's not. It doesn't have any outlet, so that's good. So because I did copy, we'll show the assistant quickly for this view controller, and I am going to bind this. And this is called LBL date, all right? So go back to the detailed view controller, and then here you can say LBL date, text equal item dot add date. It's already a string, so I don't have to worry about formatting it. Okay, that's why, because we saved it in the database as a string. Okay, so let's test it to see how that works. So if I run this, I got my list. If I click on this, it got me my details. If I click on this, it got me my details. And if I click on that, you got me my details. And then you can do cancel. I will add the code for the delete, and I will leave it as an exercise for you on, we will add the delete. You can add the delete button here. When you click on the delete, you can show the alert confirmation from the alert class. Are you sure you want to delete it? And if you say yes, then you can call the method in my helper class to delete. Now, I'll show you how we delete the method in the helper class. In the my helper class, we have already one called find item by a string. You can delete by any value. Again, this is different than how I do it, but I'll show you how we can delete it the old traditional way. All right, so how are we going to delete? We have a function already called delete item. And then we're going to pass to it the item name. So it's very similar to this thing, find item by name. So I'm going to put that in here as a parameter. And I've done this code somewhere, the other class, and then the project. So what I am going to do, I'm going to copy the header. And going to paste it here. So this is going to delete an item, you pass to it. Now this is going to be very, very similar to find item by name. So I'm going to just copy all of this and explain to you what we're going to do without the return value. You could return a Boolean, for example, to say, you know that it's deleted or not. I'll leave that to you as an example, as an exercise as well. But how does it work? You need to check first, get the predicate, run the query. If it is more than one, we've explained this before, that means we found the item. I don't need to do any of this, so I'm going to delete it. I don't need to do any of that. All right, so I'm going to delete it. What am I going to do is that I'm going to say, try to delete the managed object. How? We say, this is the row that we want to delete. This is a managed object. Remember, the result is managed object. So you just simply say managed object context dot delete the row that I found. That's all you have to do. And then here you can put error saving instead of error saving, say error deleting. The record. All right. That's it. Much, much easier than the other two methods. Okay. Alternatively, if you want to make this simpler, you just simply pass the managed object itself, and you don't have to search for this. Okay. Now, if I save this, you're not going to see anything, but I'm going to call it just to show you with, if we go to the details here, in the details, just to show you how we call it. In the detail, as we dismiss it, before I dismiss, I'm going to say helper dot delete item, and then I'm going to say item name. So now if I run it, we'll comment this out, but I want to show you how we can call that because I have already the item name here. So if I run it, if I click on one of these, milk, for example, when I click on cancel, it's going to delete that item. Now, obviously, you need to refresh this table, but let me stop it and run it and see if that milk is still there. It's still there. So why did that not happen? Delete item. Anyway, this is, I'm gonna leave that as an exercise for you to figure it out. Okay, so you can, but it should work. All right. The easiest way to do that, why it didn't work, you just simply go to my helper class and you put a debug point. You can do it quickly. Let me see what's going on. I thought I was going to leave it as an exercise for you, but let me just make sure. Yeah, it's cancel. Okay. Click, click, click. Did it find it? It did find it. All right. Row equal the first element. Okay. Delete. Fine. No errors. So it did delete it. Why is it still showing on the table view? Or maybe because of the dismiss. Let's check something. I'm going to run it again. It should be deleted. Interesting. All right, but that should work. Anyway, I'll leave it to you as an exercise. I'm done with this. Okay, see you in the next video.